Okay, so let's get started with the goddess within. Now, this is really powerful because I had no idea what it meant until I started working on it. And it's interesting because the goddess title, just like the queen title, the royal titles, everything's been hijacked into
Mm,
darkness, like the
mm.
Queen Elizabeth and Queen Victoria and Prince this and Prince that. And it's the same with goddess. The goddesses from earlier on were hijacked and made into beings of worship, and they shouldn't have been worshipped. No one should be worshipped. No one in the world should be worshipped. You should kneel down in front of God, no one else. And so all the goddesses that we have been through time and space were service to thyself, or a journey to be able to understand how that works in the ego, because it was like bring the people and get them to worship you, to have this prophet type of image, and that's not what the goddess is. If you look up the true meaning of goddess, it's woman like God. It's the equal to God but in the woman form. And so you have to be pure, you have to be of godlike. So goddess, you're a goddess, not a goddess, a goddess. And so that's how that comes about. And that's the true meaning of a goddess, which is within you. It comes from inside. It's not something you show on the outside.
That
And
makes sense.
so what's that?
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, and then I looked it up in the Bible. I said, "Well, what does it say in the Bible about goddess?" And it's really interesting. It says, "Amazing as God."
Um,
So you are godlike, and that's why we had to do the Bindu, because that was connected to that God energy, and now we can see the true goddess in us across space and time.
was
Um, all right. So who did I channel? This is going to blow your minds. Queen Sheba.
I thought so.
It was
Beautiful.
it was funny. I was all Friday. I was saying, who am I going to work with here? Come on, give me some help here. And I kept getting alpha being, and I went Africa. We're going back to Africa. Alpha beings, right? And I knew because everything started off in Africa. And then I got, well, who? And then immediately I kept getting Queen, Queen, Queen. And then next I heard Sheba. And I went, oh, Queen of Sheba.
Yeah.
um, so I looked up what Queen of Sheba was all about. There's so much history written about her. She met with King Solomon. They had a baby, and he became the fourth king of the real Israel, which of course would have been UK, Ireland, and Wales.
It was
So it's so interesting. So Queen Sheba was a woman in her own right. She was so powerful. She turned down the Muslim religion. She turned it down and said she would not worship Allah, and that she would become worshipping the central sun codes. So she didn't want to have anything to do with the Muslim religion, the Allah, and all that crap. And her son, with King Solomon, became the fourth king of Ethiopia. So it's all connected to Ethiopia. Um, and so she said, I was a very powerful, strong woman. She said, because they wanted me to convert to Muslim and all this sort of thing. And they wanted her to do things that were not in her vibration. And so she went to King Solomon and she said to King Solomon, this is what I bring you. And she took him all these gifts, and she took crystals, and she took these amazing, it even talks about the crystals that she took to King Solomon, and the spices and the herbs that she took, and they fell in love and they had a baby. And the baby was a little boy, and he became the fourth king of Ethiopia. So it all goes back to Africa. It's really amazing stuff. Um, she said I was misunderstood as a queen, and she said, but I was a queen of truth and I was a queen of sovereignty. She said I stood my ground, and she said I see a lot of you like I am. And she's got a lot of strength. She's a very powerful, beautiful, beautiful woman. I mean, the way she came through, she speaks very softly. And that picture that I put in the room was as close as I could get. There was a whole lot of different ones on Google, and I went, no, that's not her. That's not her. The one I put in the room was the closest I could get of her, how she presented herself to me. So it's really interesting. We're dealing with Queen Sheba when the Muslims are trying to overtake the world at the moment, and she refused to be Muslim. I thought
Yeah.
that's really exciting. So this is what she brings through in her channels, and I will type it all up. Greetings, beautiful Wombman of Gaia and light. I come to activate the goddess within. You are God, Wombman, and have now become closer to God and your true being. And I went, oh wow. And I said, what does this mean? And she gave me a list of things. Divine feminine, Wombman, Godman, sovereignty, light, love, diamond consciousness. And then she mentioned things across time and space. And it was all the different lifetimes, Atlantis, Lemurian, ages of time, Victorian, ancient times, and more. She said the work that you've been doing, gypsies, medicines, much more. So it's everything we are now that we know we are. You are all these beautiful, amazing aspects of the goddess you are and have become. You are and have become. Today, you discover the true meaning of being a goddess of Wombman, of and of like as God. So she said Wombman of, and then of like God. So I don't know what that meant, but that's probably the way they used to speak. To enter New Earth as a leader, teacher, healer, example of God-like God-man. You hold such true beauty, divine feminine, and of queen stature, of mighty beauty that comes from within, and all that you are is now clear to who comes into contact with you. So you will come in close to people as goddess. Like,
Yeah.
so they'll see it. They'll just see it in you. You are the true part of God. The power of the mighty goddess that stands for beliefs and for her truth, who would fight for sovereignty, rights of humanity, but with love, light, and dignity. And that's what she was. She fought for her truth. The Wombman mother that would respect and honor the journey. Now, this is interesting because this is all about the motherhood journey. The Wombman mother that would respect and honor the journey of motherhood, to be the loving being of trust, beauty, and sincerity, to be a mother to the innocent, to protect, to support, and to provide the needs of the innocent child. So she's honoring the motherhood that we go through. The Wombman, the woman like God, be his equal to all that is in wonderment of life force, energy, frequency, love, and light. To love with true knowledge and wisdom of the heart, to think and see with higher consciousness. It's taken a long time for us to get to that point, to understand the wisdom of the heart, to think and see with higher consciousness, to love with true knowledge. You know, this is something that we have to deprogram and create again within us, because we had to wipe it all out of us, go back and do all those meditations over time and space. We had to do all the healings. We had to do everything to get to this point of our goddess.
Makes sense.
The great beauty, divine feminine of inner beauty. And she kept talking about how beautiful we are. And she said, you forget just how beautiful you are as a being. She said, do you not see that? I said,
No.
sometimes when my hair's a mess and but she said it's the inner beauty. She said your inner beauty should be shining clearly now to people. So she said the great beauty, divine feminine of inner beauty, natural beauty, and all that you are is beauty in the eyes of God and humanity. We as goddess do not honor or be man-made beauty. So she's saying all the man-made beauty out there, the false, outside, putting loads of makeup on and being all beautiful and wearing skanky clothes. That's not beauty. That's man-made beauty. We are our own divine beauty from the beginning of time. We now know this can be seen with love, with healing thyself, from being in touch, understanding of your soul journey, of healing others, and loving thyself, loving what God has made. He made you to be like him.
Beautiful.
To be sovereign, to be free-spirited, and to fly free to higher dimensions as a gift bestowed upon you from the start. You, dear beauty, have chosen to remember your goddess self and to be activated today to be all that you have been and are to goddess recognition. It's powerful. I'm doing it. It's like, oh.
Wow.
I give you the activation to be truly beauty, divine, feminine wisdom, knowledge, and high consciousness, closer to God than ever before. Your true self, true beauty, shine beautiful goddess. We see you and honor your beauty. Sheba. And then the activation, and she made me do the S like this. It was like a real cool, like old graphic S. Today, I activate the beauty god woman that I have become from the beginning of time and space. I activate the self-knowledge, beauty, wisdom, lifetime experiences to be the goddess I am. I activate the love I have for all, for myself, humanity, across cosmos, divine feminine, motherhood, healer, lover, sovereign, and free soul. May the divine goddess become who I am of all that is and to be in time and space. Creator, show my beauty, my goddess self. Help to be that like you forever and to be seen like you as you made the woman like God. Thank you, God, and so it is. Ooh, la lo, e la lo, ni wa lo la. I am goddess, I am woman like God, I am beauty of creation across time and space. I went through channelings. So that's pretty powerful words. And she spoke differently. Like, you know how when we channel and we talk to Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary and everything, they come through with a bit of sort of, love and guidance and a sort of a more understanding way. She came through with a disjointed sort of way of speaking. And then I realized, well, she probably knew 3 or 4 different languages. So that's why she came through like with broken English. And so that's why I had to sort of sit and really, like for 2 days, I had to sit and I really had to concentrate on what she was saying because it came through in bits, and then she'd go thyself, and then she'd say something, and then she'd be talking to me. And I thought, am I writing this? It was like, okay, all right, I've got you now. So she's a woman who just knows herself. She just knows herself to the point where she wants us all to bring that within us out and be seen and be shown now because it's time. And so the biggest thing we need to do is now bring it forward to bring it into new earth, because the beauty, the divine of all of us will now be that form of all the work that we've done, which is what we were when we were created. God said, we'll have man over here and we'll have woman over here, and she'll be like God. She'll be the equal to God, like pairing. And that's why the divine masculine is going to be interesting, because who are they really, truly, at the end of the day? What was their purpose? But I like the way she honored every part of us, like we were healers,
Yeah.
we were lovers, we were sovereign, we're medicine, we're gypsies, we're through all the ancient times and lifetimes we've had. She explained to us that we had to live all these experiences and even the fake, ones as well, to understand why we are what we are going to be today. And
Absolutely.
it was like far out. Now I get it. I get it.
Mm.
Why were we in Salem? Why were we? I think Angel said she'd been a goddess somewhere, and I had asked, had I been a goddess, and I got no, you had been a space soldier. So there's all these different things that we've had to be to make up the big parcel of who goddess within us is, so that we can help others and serve a new earth. It's very deep and layered, and that's why we had all these different sessions, and that's why we did all the different chakras and the healing, the inner child, the implant removal. Everything had to be done. The consciousness, the heart, the throat, solar plexus, everything had to be done. And isn't it interesting? It's all related to people like Ra, the alpha beings, and now Queen Sheba, and so forth, because it's connecting us back to when we first came as souls and we landed. Where did we land? In Africa. So you think about that.
Wow.
And some of us will be related to Queen Sheba. Some of you will feel her energy more than others. So see, Angel feels it.
Well, I'm related to Solomon and David, the son.
Okay.
I'm related to that line.
And
I think Johanna is related to Solomon also.
Yeah, she's related to King Solomon.
Or of that line.
Which is the Ethiopian line, which is the African alpha being line. So, there's so much coming through that we just didn't know about, or they hid from us, it was all hidden. I mean, the biggest thing now is just the fact that we're so aware of it and we can share this information to other people. Because I always thought, like you have the Indian goddess, and they have all the arms and legs and everything, and they're all these amazing beings. And yes, they probably did have beautiful qualities, but they were manipulated. They were manipulated into the self-service. People went and worshipped at them and bowed down in front of them. And, and that's not what goddess is. God doesn't want you doing that. He wants you to take your eyes off that kind of belief system and be truly who you are from within. Don't rely on others to fulfill that happiness for you, because it only comes from within, who your divine beauty, happiness, and light is. And that's what comes out in the goddess. So it's pretty cool stuff. Any questions?
Go ahead.
When you said in your little message after the picture of Queen Sheba that she was connected to Solomon, I knew straight away it was Queen Sheba because you told me she's on my team. And you said she was connected to King Solomon when you found that she was on my team. So I knew that was her. But sounds like a very amazing woman.
I know. I think you're going to probably be using her frequency in some of your formulas, because it's that goddess frequency. I mean, this is what she's here to help guide us as well, and call upon her. I didn't even really know much about her. I always remember a friend telling me that her cat was called Sheba. I didn't know what it meant.
It's funny, I've had so many people just lately say their cats are named Sheba.
Yeah, they call their cats Sheba. What's that about? Because they used to put cats
Egyptian.
Dimples, eh?
It's Egyptian.
Yeah.
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 What were you going to say, Angel?
Do you know the difference between the goddess, the deities, and there's one more.
There's about 4 of them, isn't there?
Are they all teachers? Are they all ascended masters?
Some are ascended masters, some have all different roles. I know that. We should actually do some work on that.
Because I was Oshun from the Alpha, um, some kind of goddess or whatever. I don't know, deity, something. And
Well,
I just figured that they're ascended masters, that they're teachers.
some of them are. Some of them were manipulated, though. Some of them were brought out. That's what I'm saying. Some of them were bought out and used for service to thyself. Others were the true, real deal. So that's why we need to do that work to find out. But as she said, they tried to do that with her. They tried to make her a Muslim, false prophet. And she refused it. And she said, this is what we're doing. We are refusing the matrix. We are refusing everything to be like God, And she said, and that's what makes you the goddess.
Okay.
So, so we can look at that, because another one I got from doing this work with her, she said you have to do the inner warrior, find out where you came from as a warrior.
Wow.
Cool.
So, because that makes up a goddess. Can you imagine us, like, we've got space warriors, we've got ancient warriors, we've got alpha warriors, we've got so many different warriors, truth warriors, palladium warriors, and we're all coming in to that energy as well.
But haven't we been a warrior in every lifetime, though?
Most of it has been for survival.
Yeah.
This time around, we're not so much warriors, we're truthers, which is different, because warriors went to war. We went to war. We had wars within us, even wars in us.
I've been with the kids, though.
Yeah. Yeah, we went
Children.
and rescued the kids, things like that. Tunnels.
That's war.
That's war. War is in the streets at the moment. So, the biggest thing we've got to remember is that divine beauty and that powerful goddess frequency we have. It's an essence within us. It's like, and I'm probably going to see it in the meditation today, but when she was telling me about the levels of what makes us, I felt like when God was creating us, he had this formula and he tipped it into us, and that was the essence of the goddess. It was like this beautiful ancient Egyptian looking crystal blowing glass bottle, and it had a solution in it, and I could see it being tipped into us, the essence. And I thought, that's what it is. It's like an essence within us, So it'd be interesting to see how that works. So we're going to the Alpha planet, and we're going to the temple of the goddess. So it's the goddess temple. No one's allowed there unless you reach goddess. So it's pretty powerful. Not everyone's been there. We did in the beginning of time. We've forgotten about it. So it's a recognition type thing. And they'll show us, they'll mirror our goddess aspect of ourselves, which is exciting. Can you imagine?
Is it Sheba's temple?
I think it is her temple. I have to find out when we get there. But she said that only those that get to this point, like, when we did the Bindu, she said only those that get to this point of understanding the true goddess within will be able to get to this space in the Alpha planet. So it's going to be interesting how we view it, how we see it, because I don't even, normally I know before I go into meditation, I can describe it to you and say, hey, it's this, and it's got a road here, and it's got this on this. I don't know what it even looks like. They've kept everything fresh. So I'm guessing we just find out as we go in. I know it will probably be divinely beautiful perfumes and beauty and anything that you can't even imagine here, you know, all the different blossoms and flowers and I don't know,
Yes.
you know, everything that represents beauty. I mean, a natural beauty, not a man, like she said, the man-made beauty. And she even said something to me about how the man-made beauty has gone so twisted and wrong. And I thought, you know what she's talking about? All these celebrities and that are having plastic surgery and blowing up lips. And I thought, yeah, that would be weird to someone that's been a beauty in ancient time to look forward to now and see how people recognize a fake beauty.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I don't see that as beauty. I see that as
Distortion.
distortion. Yeah, it's not right. Beauty to me is, and I'll tell you a story. Yesterday, Janet and I went out on a road trip shopping because there was a couple of sales on in the area, and she needed a few things. So I said, I'll come with you. And we were in New World, the supermarket, and I was in an aisle on my own for some reason. I don't know. Janet must have been looking at something else. And this girl was standing next to me. Oh my God. I have never seen anything so perfect in all my life. If anyone wanted to be a perfect beauty goddess, this woman was the goddess. She had her hair pulled back. It was pure jet black, perfectly black eyebrows, beautiful soft skin, perfect size 8 body, tiny little waist, beautiful breast size, hips, long legs. She was dressed so she wasn't skanky or anything like that. She was just a stunning beauty. And I looked at her and I thought, I want to tell you just how beautiful you are, but I can't because it would come across a bit weird. So I thought it. But I think she knew because I was sort of projecting that thought onto her. And I thought, you're beautiful. You're just no makeup, just beautiful. Anyway, I was looking around in the shelves, and then next minute, her partner comes up next to her. And oh my God, I almost had to take a step backwards. She's with a Maori warrior, and he had all his Maori tattoo lineage stuff on his face and that. And he was bloody good looking. He was so good looking. I went, what a pair. Imagine what their kids are going to look like.
Wow.
But it wasn't just the outer beauty. I could see their inner beauty as well. And they, you know, people would look at the tattoos and go, oh, you know, what people are like. But I could see his true calling as he was recognizing his Lemurian, his Atlantis, everything was in this sort of facial tattoo. And their eyes, oh man, you could fall in love with them. They were beautiful. But it wasn't because of handsomeness. It was, I could see his inner beauty. He was a beautiful being. And I thought, that's why you were with her, because you're both inner beauties measure each other.
Yep.
So then anyway, next minute I'm down with Janet and I said, I want to tell you something. And I told her about this girl and I said, no, I'm not gay. I'm not a lesbian. No, I'm not this. But she was absolutely beautiful. And I said, I wish you could have seen her. She was stunning. And then the partner was just as stunning. I was just like, that's what it is. Goddess, divine, masculine together.
Yeah, beautiful.
I've never seen it before. I actually took a step back when he came up to her. I went, I think he saw my reaction, but it was as if to say, God, I honor you two. You two are just stunning beings. Where are you from? Are you from this planet? You know, that's how it felt. And that's how they'll recognize us now that we're doing this activation, because we're building all that up in us to shine out to humanity. And God will see it. And that's what she was saying in her message. So, pretty cool story.